In the peaceful town of Ondo, life moved at a gentle pace. The streets were lined with neat houses, and the air often carried the sound of children playing and the smell of delicious food being cooked. Everyone in Ondo knew everyone else, and nothing stayed a secret for long. It was a town where laughter and gossip were shared in equal measure, and people took pride in their traditions and faith. Among the townspeople was a sweet girl named Sarah. At just 22, she was known for her kindness and the big, bright smile that rarely left her face. Sarah was not like other young women her age who dreamed of marriage or a glamorous life. Instead, she had a quiet dream, to become a Reverend sister. She found peace in her faith and spent most of her days working at St. Matthew's Parish House, the local Catholic church. Sarah's life had not been easy. She lost her father when she was just a baby, and her mother, Mama Sarah, had worked tirelessly to raise her. Mama Sarah was a strong woman in her mid-50s, full of wisdom and love. Though they didn't have much, she had always taught Sarah the importance of honesty, humility, and faith. Sarah grew up with these values deeply rooted in her heart. Working at the parish house brought Sarah joy. She helped with chores, cleaned the church, and assisted the priests and nuns with their daily needs. Father Gabriel, the parish priest, was especially fond of her. At 35, he was a calm, kind-hearted man who had dedicated his life to God. The people of Ondo admired him greatly for his humility and generosity. He often gave food to the poor and helped families in need. Father Gabriel had known Sarah since she was a little girl. He had been like a father to her, guiding her spiritually and looking out for her. When he traveled with other priests, he would always bring back small gifts for Sarah, a bracelet, a loaf of bread, or a packet of sweets. His care for her was pure and selfless, or so it seemed. Life at the parish was usually quiet, but something strange began to happen. Every night, just before bedtime, Father Gabriel would visit Sarah's small room in the parish house. He would spend at least an hour there before leaving. No one knew what they talked about or did during those visits. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But as days turned into weeks, whispers began to spread among the other girls working at the parish house. "Why does Father Gabriel always visit Sarah's room at night?" one of them, Busy, asked. She was a teen, sharp-tongued, and loved to gossip. "I've never seen him visit anyone else's room." "I know," another girl, Ada, replied. She was 20, quiet but observant. "And have you noticed how she's the only one he buys gifts for? I've never even seen him bring us bread." "I don't understand it," Busy said, narrowing her eyes. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" Ada hesitated. "I don't want to assume, but it's strange. I mean, a priest is supposed to live a holy life, right? And Sarah, well, she's beautiful." The third girl, Tolu, who was 19, joined the conversation. "Do you think they're in a relationship? Maybe that's why he's always giving her special treatment." The three girls exchanged knowing looks. What started as innocent curiosity quickly grew into something darker. They began to spread rumors among the other parish workers, and soon, the entire church was buzzing with suspicion. The townspeople of Ondo were shocked when the rumors reached them. Father Gabriel, a priest, in a relationship with Sarah, they whispered to one another. "It can't be true. He's so holy." But the whispers continued. People started to notice the way Father Gabriel treated Sarah. Some said they had seen them walking together in the church garden, laughing and talking like close friends. Others claimed they had overheard him defending her when she made mistakes. Every little detail became fuel for the gossip. Mama Sarah was the last to hear the rumors. One evening, she called Sarah into their small kitchen. "My daughter," she began gently, "people are saying things about you and Father Gabriel. Is it true?" Sarah's eyes widened in shock. "Mama, no. It's not true. Father Gabriel is like a father to me. I would never do such a thing." Mama Sarah looked into her daughter's eyes and saw only sincerity. "I believe you," she said. "But you must be careful, Sarah. People will always talk, especially when they see something they don't understand." Sarah nodded, grateful for her mother's trust. She returned to the parish house the next day, determined to ignore the rumors. But things took a dramatic turn when Sarah began feeling unwell. She woke up one morning feeling nauseous, and by afternoon, she was too weak to walk. Mama Sarah noticed her daughter's growing fatigue and insisted they visit the church clinic. After running several tests, the doctor called Mama Sarah into his office. His expression was grave. "Madam, I have some news," he said. "Your daughter is pregnant." Mama Sarah felt like the ground had been pulled out from under her. "What?" she cried, her voice trembling. "That's impossible. Sarah is a virgin." The doctor shook his head. "I understand your shock, but the tests don't lie." When Mama Sarah confronted Sarah with the news, the young girl burst into tears. "Mama, I don't understand," she sobbed. "I swear, I've never been with any man. I can't be pregnant." But Mama Sarah refused to believe her. "You've disgraced our family," she shouted. "How could you do this? And with a priest, of all people." Sarah tried to defend herself, but her mother's anger drowned out her words. In desperation, Mama Sarah took Sarah to 6 different hospitals, hoping for a mistake. But every test came back the same: Sarah was indeed pregnant. The news spread like wildfire. The townspeople's whispers turned into loud accusations. "We knew it," they said. "Father Gabriel is the father of Sarah's baby. That's why he was always in her room." The once respected priest now found himself at the center of a scandal. People avoided him on the streets, and parishioners stopped attending Massachusetts. Father Gabriel, overwhelmed with shame, denied the allegations. "I am innocent," he told anyone who would listen. "I have done nothing wrong." But no one believed him. Sarah, too, faced constant ridicule. Her once bright smile was replaced with tears as she tried to understand how her life had taken such a terrible turn. And as the days went by, the mystery of her pregnancy only deepened. Everyone in Ondo State seemed to be talking about Father Gabriel. Whispers echoed through the town, from the market stalls to the pews of St. Matthew's Parish. Fingers were pointed, and accusations flew like arrows aimed straight at him. It wasn't just the townspeople fueling the scandal. 3 young girls who lived in the parish house added fuel to the fire. They claimed they had seen Father Gabriel leaving Sarah's room late at night on multiple occasions. Their curious eyes had observed, but their minds had jumped to conclusions. Father Gabriel, his face pale and his hands trembling, stood before the church elders. His voice cracked as he tried to defend himself. "I am not responsible, and I have no hand in this," he said, his tone a mixture of desperation and heartbreak. But the room was cold. No one believed him. Even the parish council, a group of men and women he had served alongside for years, looked at him with disappointment. They didn't see the dedicated priest who had baptized their children or comforted them in times of grief. All they saw was a man accused of an unspeakable act. Sarah, the center of the storm, sat alone in her room at her mother's house. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she stared blankly at the walls. She knew the truth, but no one cared to listen. Her life had been upended overnight. She had been cast out of the parish house, labeled as a woman who had entangled herself with a priest. The parish council summoned Father Gabriel to a meeting that would decide his fate. As he entered the room, he could feel the weight of their judgment pressing down on him. "Father Gabriel," one of the elders began, his voice heavy with disappointment, "you have brought shame upon this parish and the entire Catholic community. You must leave the priesthood immediately. We cannot allow this scandal to destroy the reputation of the church." Father Gabriel fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "Please, I beg you," he pleaded. "I am innocent. I have never touched Sarah inappropriately. I have served this church faithfully for years. How can you accuse me of something I did not do?" But his cries were met with stony silence. The council's decision was final. He was to leave the parish at once. The walk out of the parish house felt like a walk of shame. Father Gabriel carried his bag, his heart heavy with sorrow. Parishioners gathered outside, their eyes filled with anger and disappointment. Some whispered behind their hands, while others openly expressed their scorn. "Father, we trusted you," an elderly woman said, her voice trembling with anger. "How could you betray us like this? Go and take care of Sarah. Since this is what you want, take responsibility for the child you've put in her." Father Gabriel stopped in his tracks, his voice breaking as he tried to defend himself one last time. "I did not do this. I am not guilty of what you are accusing me of." But his words fell on deaf ears. The crowd turned their backs on him, leaving him to walk away in shame and heartbreak. Meanwhile, at her mother's house, Sarah was inconsolable. Days turned into nights, and the weight of guilt and worry consumed her. Sitting on a wooden stool outside her home one evening, she whispered to herself, "Oh dear Father Gabriel, where will he go? How will he start over after dedicating his entire life to the church? What do I do now?" Father Gabriel wandered through the town aimlessly, his mind a whirlwind of confusion and despair. The life he had built, the respect he had earned, it was all gone in an instant. One evening, as Sarah sat lost in thought, her mother, Mama Sarah, approached her with a determined look in her eyes. "Sarah," Mama Sarah began, her voice firm but kind, "we need to find out the truth. My daughter, I know you very well. I gave birth to you, and if you say you're innocent, then I believe you. But we need proof to clear your name and Father Gabriel's." Mama Sarah's resolve gave Sarah a glimmer of hope. Together, they decided to visit a specialist hospital in the city of Akure. The journey was long, filled with moments of silence and quiet prayers. At the hospital, Sarah underwent a series of thorough tests. The lead doctor, a middle-aged man with kind eyes, called them into his office after reviewing the results. "Sarah," he began gently, "your case is unique. You're showing all the symptoms of pregnancy, vomiting, weight gain, even the feeling of movement inside, but there's no baby." Sarah and her mother stared at him in disbelief. The doctor continued, "You have a rare condition called a phantom pregnancy. It's a psychological condition where a woman's body mimics all the signs of pregnancy. This is often triggered by severe stress or anxiety. Your body believed it was pregnant, and so it created these symptoms." Sarah's hands trembled as she processed the information. She wasn't pregnant. The relief was overwhelming, but so was the shock. Her mind raced as she thought about Father Gabriel and the pain he had endured because of her condition. Mama Sarah, ever the practical woman, wasted no time. With the detailed medical report in hand, she and Sarah made their way back to the church. The truth had to be revealed. Both Sarah and her mother sat in stunned silence. The doctor's explanation was astonishing, but it also brought a wave of relief. For the first time in weeks, they had an answer to the mystery that had thrown their lives into chaos. The detailed medical report in Mama Sarah's hands felt like a lifeline. She clutched it tightly, determined to clear Father Gabriel's name and end the suffering he had endured. Without wasting a moment, Mama Sarah and Sarah headed to the church leaders. The journey back to the parish was tense, but their resolve was unshaken. When they arrived, they demanded to speak with the parish council immediately. Inside the council room, the church leaders listened intently as Mama Sarah presented the medical report. The room grew quiet as the council members read through the findings, their expressions shifting from doubt to shock. This is unbelievable," one of the council members finally said, adjusting his glasses as he reread the report. "It seems we have wrongfully accused both Father Gabriel and Sarah. This is truly tragic." Another elder nodded solemnly. "We've done a grave injustice. Father Gabriel's reputation has been destroyed over a misunderstanding. We must right this wrong." News of the revelation spread through the parish and the entire town like wildfire. Father Gabriel, who had been living in quiet despair, was called back to the church. The council members stood before him, their heads bowed in shame. "Father Gabriel," one of them began, his voice heavy with regret, "we owe you an apology. We were wrong to doubt you. The truth has come to light, and we now know you are innocent. Please, return to the parish and resume your work. We beg for your forgiveness." Though deeply hurt by the ordeal, Father Gabriel's heart swelled with gratitude that the truth had finally prevailed. I forgive you all, he said softly. I hold no grudges, for God teaches us to forgive even when we are wrong. The parishioners, too, felt the weight of their guilt. They had been quick to judge, and now they sought to make amends. On the day of Father Gabriel's return, they welcomed him with open arms. The church was filled with joy and celebration as the townspeople showered him with gifts and praises. But one question lingered in the minds of many: why had Father Gabriel visited Sarah's room at night? The priest, calm and patient, explained, Sarah had expressed her desire to become a Reverend sister. She sought guidance in her spiritual journey, and every night, we would pray together. I was teaching her to deepen her faith and strengthen her dedication to God. That was the sole purpose of my visits. Hearing this, the parishioners felt a deeper sense of regret. They had misjudged a pure and noble act. One by one, they approached Father Gabriel and Sarah to apologize. Sarah, standing beside her mother, felt a mix of emotions. She was relieved that the truth had cleared both her name and Father Gabriel's, but she was also overwhelmed by the knowledge of her condition. How had her body mimicked pregnancy when she hadn't been with any man? It was a mystery that left her confused yet thankful for the clarity it brought. Father Gabriel and Sarah stood together in the church courtyard, their eyes reflecting relief and gratitude. God has a way of revealing the truth, no matter how long it takes, he said, placing a reassuring hand on Sarah's shoulder. Sarah smiled through her tears. Thank you for standing by me, Father. I don't know how I would have endured this without your faith and support. With the storm behind them, Sarah returned to the parish house. Her dream of becoming a Reverend sister burned brighter than ever, and she threw herself into her duties with renewed vigor. Father Gabriel, too, resumed his priestly work, grateful to be back among his flock, serving the God he loved. And so, the story came to an end, leaving behind a powerful lesson. It reminded everyone in the town, and perhaps all of us, that we must never jump to conclusions without seeking the truth. Gossip and rumors may spread like wildfire, but the truth always prevails in the end. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it and taught you something valuable. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to hear more inspiring stories. Your support means so much to me. See you in my next video.